Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take a deep dive into a book you've been meaning to read. So if you're looking for in-depth book summaries and analyses, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future episodes.
Yeah, we love having you here.
Today, we're taking you to the seemingly picture-perfect seaside town of Monterey, California,
Ooh, sounds nice.
as we unpack Leanne Moriarty's Big Little Lies. Now, if you enjoy stories full of secrets, lies, and a good dose of drama, you're in for a treat. We're about to unravel a tale that starts with an elementary school trivia night
Okay.
and ends with a murder.
Oh my gosh.
And the best part is, you won't know who's dead or how it all went down until the very end.
Ooh, that's fun. I like that. Keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Exactly. Moriarty brilliantly keeps you guessing as she peels back the layers of these seemingly perfect lives,
Right.
revealing the dark undercurrents beneath the surface. So let's dive right into the heart of this twisted story. We've got 5 women: Madeline, Celeste, Jane, Renata, and Bonnie.
Wow. Each with their own set of secrets and struggles.
Yeah.
They might seem like they have it all: beautiful homes, successful husbands, adorable children. But trust me, things are about to get messy.
Oh, I love messy. So what's so captivating about this book is how Moriarty takes these seemingly ordinary domestic issues like schoolyard rivalries, parenting dilemmas, marital conflicts,
Right.
and weaves them into a suspenseful narrative that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Absolutely. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck.
Oh,
You know something terrible is about to happen, but you can't look away.
I see, I see.
Now let's start with Madeline.
Okay.
She's the kind of woman who always speaks her mind. She throws herself into every school event and isn't afraid to stir up a little trouble.
Sounds like me.
She's dealing with the typical challenges of a working mom,
Right.
but also some deep-seated insecurity stemming from a past heartbreak.
Interesting. And this need to control everything around her.
It's almost like she's trying to create this perfect little world to compensate for the chaos she feels inside.
Right. It's like she's overcompensating.
Yeah.
Take, for instance, the whole Avenue Q debacle.
Uh-huh.
This seemingly harmless community theater production becomes this massive battle for her,
Oh, wow.
a crusade against censorship and small-town narrow-mindedness. But if you look closely, it's also fueled by her rivalry with Renata Klein, the queen bee of the school moms.
Uh-huh. Renata, now she's an intriguing character. She's got this CEO-level confidence, designer wardrobe to die for,
Yeah.
and an almost obsessive focus on her daughter Amabella's happiness. But even with all her wealth and success, she's deeply insecure and driven by a fear of failure.
It's like she's built this fortress around herself and Amabella, and she's terrified of anything that might threaten their perfect little world. And that's where Jane comes in. She's the new mom in town, young, single, and fiercely protective of her son Ziggy. But she's also carrying a heavy secret, a traumatic experience from her past that continues to haunt her.
So Jane's story is particularly heartbreaking because she's trying so hard to build a new life for herself and Ziggy, but the fear and anxiety from her past keep pulling her back. It's as if she's constantly looking over her shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And then there's that incident at orientation
Yes.
where Amabella accuses Ziggy of choking her. This event, though seemingly small, sets off a chain reaction, igniting a war between Renata and Jane and exposing the simmering tensions that lurk beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect community.
It's like a tiny pebble that creates a ripple effect, disrupting the carefully constructed facade of harmony and revealing the cracks in these women's seemingly perfect lives. And then we have Celeste, who, from the outside, seems to have it all. She's beautiful, married to the handsome and successful Perry,
Yeah.
and they have adorable twin boys. But behind closed doors, a much darker story is unfolding.
Yeah, Celeste is trapped in a physically and emotionally abusive relationship with Perry. It's a stark reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and even the most seemingly perfect couples can harbor dark secrets.
Celeste's story is a difficult one to read because it so honestly portrays the insidious cycle of domestic violence.
Right.
You see her struggling with feelings of love, fear, shame, and the constant struggle to maintain a facade of normalcy. It's a heartbreaking reminder that this can happen to anyone regardless of their social status or outward appearance.
And as the story unfolds, these individual stories intertwine, creating a tangled web of secrets, lies, and simmering resentment.
Oh my.
You're probably wondering how this all leads to a murder. right?
Yeah.
Well, the tension keeps building, fueled by these escalating conflicts and the pressure these women feel to maintain their perfect facades.
And it all comes to a head at the school trivia night. This event becomes a catalyst, a pressure cooker, where all these pent-up emotions and hidden anxieties finally explode.
Oh, the trivia night.
Oh boy.
Talk about drama.
I know, right?
It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can see the tension escalating, the tempers flaring, and you just know something terrible is about to happen. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analyses of your favorite books. We'll be right back with more on Big Little Lies. So we left off with the school trivia night, the event that sets the stage for the dramatic climax of Big Little Lies. It's a night filled with heightened emotions,
Oh, yeah.
hidden agendas, and escalating tensions, all culminating in a chaotic scene that leaves one person dead.
Moriarty masterfully uses this event to bring all the characters and their storylines together, creating a collision that shatters the fragile peace of this seemingly perfect community.
Exactly. It's like watching a carefully constructed house of cards just crumble before your eyes. Now, you might be thinking, okay, someone's dead, but who did it?
Right.
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Moriarty keeps us in suspense for a good portion of the book, slowly revealing clues and shifting our suspicions from one character to the next.
And what's brilliant about this technique is that it forces you to reevaluate each character and their motivations, constantly questioning your own assumptions and judgments.
Right. It's like playing a game of Clue, but with much higher stakes. Now let's rewind a bit and look at the events leading up to that fateful night. We've got Celeste, who's finally decided to leave Perry. This decision, though incredibly brave, triggers a dangerous escalation in Perry's behavior.
Perry's control over Celeste is slipping away, and his possessiveness and rage just spiral out of control. We see glimpses of his true nature, the violence simmering beneath the surface of his charming facade.
And it's not just Celeste's decision to leave that's shaking things up. Madeline's daughter, Abigail, throws a bombshell of her own. She announces her plan to auction off her virginity online as a protest against sex trafficking. Talk about a shocking twist, right?
Abigail's actions, while controversial, highlight the complexities of adolescence and the struggle to find one's voice in a world that often feels hypocritical and unjust.
It definitely throws a wrench into the works, causing a rift between Madeline and Ed, and further highlighting the generational divide between mothers and daughters.
And then we have Jane, who embarks on a quest to uncover the truth about Ziggy's father. This journey takes her to San Luis Obispo, where she hopes to confront Saxon Baker, the man she believes is responsible for her past trauma.
But as we soon discover, things are never as simple as they seem. The truth about Ziggy's paternity is more complicated than Jane could have imagined, leading her down a path of unexpected revelations and emotional turmoil.
And all of these storylines converge at the school fundraiser the night of the murder. The atmosphere is electric with tension. You can practically feel the anxiety crackling in the air.
It's like the entire community is holding its breath, waiting for something to snap. And then it happens in a chaotic and violent climax. Perry falls to his death from a balcony.
But the question remains, was it an accident or something more sinister? Moriarty doesn't give us easy answers. Instead, she leaves us with a series of ambiguous clues and conflicting perspectives, forcing us to grapple with the complexities of the situation.
And that's what makes this book so captivating. It's not just a whodunit, it's a whydunit. It asks us to examine the motivations, the choices, and the moral dilemmas that drive these characters to their breaking points.
And it challenges us to consider how our own perceptions and biases might influence our interpretation of events.
Exactly. Now, before we dive into the aftermath and the fallout from Perry's death, let's take a moment to appreciate the brilliant way Moriarty weaves these complex themes into the fabric of her story. We've got domestic violence, social pressures, the complexities of motherhood, the destructive nature of secrets, and the power of female friendship.
These themes are not simply tacked on, they're woven into the very DNA of the narrative, enriching the story and adding layers of depth and meaning.
Absolutely. It's like she's holding up a mirror to society, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world we live in.
And she does it with such wit and insight, making even the most difficult topics engaging and thought-provoking.
So where do we go from here? The book doesn't end with Perry's death. There's still the aftermath to unravel, the police investigation to navigate, and the emotional fallout to contend with.
And Moriarty doesn't disappoint. The second half of the book is just as gripping as the first, as we see these women grapple with the consequences of their actions and the weight of their shared secret.
It's like the saying goes, the truth will set you free, but first it will make you miserable. And in Big Little Lies, the truth is a double-edged sword, bringing both relief and devastation in its wake. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth book discussions. We'll be right back with the final part of our deep dive into Big Little Lies. Welcome back to the deep dive. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure to check out parts 1 and 2 of our deep dive into Big Little Lies to catch up on all the drama and intrigue. We're picking up right where we left off with the aftermath of Perry's death. Now, the question on everyone's mind is what happens next.
Well, the women find themselves caught in a web of deceit as they try to cover up the truth about what really happened that night.
Right.
They agree to tell the police that Perry's death was an accident, a tragic misstep that led to his fatal fall. But Detective Adrienne Quinlan, the officer in charge of the investigation, she isn't so easily convinced.
Quinlan is sharp, observant, and she has this uncanny ability to read people.
Yeah.
She senses that these women are hiding something, and she's determined to uncover the truth no matter the cost.
The police investigation adds another layer of suspense to the story.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like a game of cat and mouse, with Quinlan slowly circling her prey, waiting for them to slip up. And the pressure mounts as she interviews each of the women, piecing together the events of that night and exposing the cracks in their carefully constructed alibi.
Right. You can practically feel the tension building as Quinlan starts to poke holes in their story, pointing out inconsistencies, raising doubts about their version of events. It's like watching a pot of water slowly come to a boil, and you just know it's going to spill over eventually.
And as the investigation progresses, the women's carefully constructed facades begin to crumble.
Yeah.
Their secrets, their lies, and their buried resentments start to surface, threatening to tear apart their fragile alliance.
It's like that saying, we are only as sick as our secrets.
Right.
And in Big Little Lies, those secrets become toxic, poisoning their relationships and pushing them to their breaking points.
But amid this chaos and uncertainty, something remarkable happens.
Okay.
These women, bound together by their shared secret and their fear of exposure, find strength in their unlikely friendship.
It's like they realize that they're all in this together. They need each other now more than ever. And this shared experience, this sense of sisterhood, becomes their lifeline, helping them navigate the choppy waters of grief, guilt, and the looming threat of exposure.
It's a powerful testament to the enduring power of female friendships, showing how women can support each other through the darkest of times and find solace in their shared humanity.
And it's not just the police investigation that's putting a strain on their relationships. They're also dealing with the fallout from Perry's death in their personal lives. Madeline is struggling to cope with Abigail's decision to live with Nathan and Bonnie, and she's forced to confront her own marital problems and the mistakes she's made in the past.
Madeline's journey is a reminder that even the most seemingly strong and confident individuals have their vulnerabilities, their insecurities, and their moments of self-doubt.
And Jane, still haunted by the trauma of her past, is forced to confront the truth about Ziggy's paternity. A revelation that shatters her hope for closure and forces her to reevaluate her entire understanding of her past.
Jane's story is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of facing our demons, no matter how painful the process may be.
And Celeste, freed from the clutches of her abusive husband, begins the long and arduous journey of healing. She must confront her grief, her guilt, and the lingering trauma of years of abuse.
Celeste's story highlights the complexities of domestic violence and the long-lasting impact it has on its victims. It's a reminder that even in the aftermath of abuse, the road to recovery is often long and challenging.
Now, one of the things that makes Big Little Lies so compelling is that Moriarty doesn't tie everything up in a neat little bow at the end.
Right.
She leaves us with some lingering questions, some unresolved conflicts, and a sense that these women's lives will continue to be messy and complicated even after the dust settles.
It's a realistic and refreshing approach, acknowledging that life isn't always about finding perfect solutions or happy endings. It's about learning to navigate the complexities of human relationships, facing our challenges head-on, and finding strength and resilience in the face of adversity.
So, what are the key takeaways from this whirlwind of a story? For me, it's about the importance of female friendship, the destructive nature of secrets, the complexities of motherhood, and the enduring power of the human spirit to heal and find redemption even in the darkest of times.
And it's a reminder that appearances can be deceiving, that everyone is fighting their own battles, and that sometimes the most unlikely of alliances can become our greatest source of strength. Big Little Lies is a story that will stay with you long after you finish reading it.
Yeah.
It's a story that will make you think, make you feel, and make you question your own assumptions about the world and the people in it. And it's a story that ultimately reminds us that even in the face of tragedy, hope can emerge, resilience can be found, and the power of human connection can help us navigate even the most turbulent of storms.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into Big Little Lies, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth book discussions. And let us know in the comments what you thought of the book and what other books you'd like us to unpack in future episodes.
Until next time, happy reading.